Finding the perfect rider height was the biggest deal.
We could just climb anything we looked at. It's something that I would not even try on a different board.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Onewheel Podcast. I am Jack, and today joined with Austin and Mercedes Silva, factory pro team riders, to talk about the new Onewheel Rally XL, which they've been testing for quite some time, and Race the Rail, which is coming up next weekend. Super exciting time here in the Onewheel world. Let's dive in. We are live here. Got Austin and Mercedes. We're not actually live, but we do have Austin and Mercedes here. Onewheel Podcast. How's it going, both of you?
Good.
Good. A little sunburnt, but
A little sunburn.
yeah.
You two have been building ramps all day, building ramps for Race for the Rail.
We have
Totally new Race the Rail, basically concept, and just race this year. Pretty excited. How are the ramps looking? I heard they're pretty tall.
I mean, whenever you see them in person, they're a little taller than you thought whenever you were using one little measuring tape. But I think it's going to be a great challenge for people, and like it's going to be so much fun to watch, honestly.
I personally cannot wait. For those of you who are out of the know, Race the Rail this year is happening next weekend, Hollister Hills, California, and it's on a pretty famous dirt bike track.
Yeah.
Legendary dirt bike track. There will be races in the qualifying rounds with as many as 24 riders on it at a time. 24?
25.
25. You know, because you just built start things for everyone. So it's going to be totally insane and a lot of fun. Let's get to that. Let's put a pin in Race the Rail just for a second. Because also, we just came out with Onewheel GTS Series Rally XL. I got to try for the first time out and about with you guys doing on a little testing mission. Where should we begin? Tell us a little bit about the process of how it started and testing and some of the development stuff, because that's what you two have been pretty involved in.
So the rider height was a big deal. That one we went through about 4 or 5 different iterations, maybe a couple more than that. I'm not totally sure, but it was just a combination of like getting the perfect height with not making you feel like you're not so like tippy,
Right.
because there's a certain point where you like, and it's like millimeters, you can tell the difference. But you get to a certain point of height, and as soon as you hit a rock, no matter like what, tire you're on or whatever, like you're going to get a little bit of jolt in your ankle. And as soon as you get too much of a jolt, it's like, you basically like kind of have to work too hard to get the board back, and it doesn't feel as controlled. And so finding the perfect rider height was like the biggest deal for this one.
Right, because bigger tire, right? So 12-inch tire. Bigger tire means that the whole platform is going to be higher unless you make some adjustments.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so that's that process. And also, like, the angles of the rails are slightly different, I think, as well. You were mentioning it sounds like, well, you have more approach angle and more tail room for braking because of it, but the ride height doesn't feel higher. I guess explain that for me, Austin, if you would.
I mean, a lot of the feeling is in the tire and how forgiving it is, how it conforms to the ground, kind of allows you to roll easier over to the rail side. But the challenges with raising the rails up or raising the board up with a taller wheel is when you're rolling the board side to side, you're traveling further because you're further off the ground. So you're traveling further side to side. And the benefit, obviously, you get more clearance, from the front and the tail. When we first went out there and it was really tall, anytime you'd hit a root, and honestly, she was basically the deciding factor of how low we could go, where we find that line, because she's got really small feet. And so she doesn't have as much leverage over the roll of the board. So she's kind of at the board's will. And so when you hit like a rock or root on the side of the tire, it can like transition, it can roll over really quick. And so, it was basically how much, sideways movement is acceptable. And we just took it down a little bit until we're like, okay, yeah, we could take it up a little bit more, and we found that balance between like ride height and clearance
Right.
and maneuverability. And I'm super stoked where we landed. Yeah, yesterday there was a group ride, and I was like, the first thing I heard of, like, oh, I thought this thing would be just basically a trail board, wouldn't handle well in the street. I just took it around, town, and I was really surprised how well it handles. And that was from dialing that in.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's interesting because you guys know all of the iterations and the thought process behind it. But for me, as someone who just hopped on it and rode it, it feels like what I would call completely normal from like a ride. Like it feels unnoticeable, I guess. Like it's not something that I'm registering from a ride height perspective, which to me is like a good, yeah,
perfect,
good thing. To me, the thing that was definitely the most noticeable was the first time that we rode it. You guys took Kevin and I up this really steep hill, really long and steep hill. Basically, it was like a mountain, right? Or I don't know. Yeah, essentially a mountain that we were going up. And we were trying to film you guys, but we had to get there too. So, what was noticeable to me was that from the jump, I was able to go up hills that I've never gone up in my entire life. I'm a little bit over 200 pounds. And so for me, I've never really been a great hill climber. I just like give up and then haul the board and watch all my lighter friends like laughing and giggling as they one wheel up.
Turn back.
Lots of fun, not traumatizing at all. But it was blowing my mind because I just kept leaning and it just goes, it's like, I mean, I heard a couple quotes too in the launch film, like it feels like it's pulling you up in a way that is very similar to the difference between GT and GTS. Like when we first felt that difference and I was able to go up some of the hills, like the local hills that I'd never done before. Now it's like a whole nother level. You guys are used to the power at this point because you've been riding some of that stuff for a while, but take us back. Like, do you remember some of the first moments that you got, the power got unleashed upon you? What was that like? Just talk a little bit about the power to people who haven't had a chance to ride that yet.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the firmware, the controller, and the battery, the internals were what we actually worked on first. Obviously, we can't bring out new hardware in the public, but we were able to race the internals all year this season. And yeah, I think the first time we took those boards out was to Hollister. And so I think we took them out around here, and then we like shortly after took them out to Hollister. So we had a very similar experience to you, faced with these massive hills. We just kept pointing it at one steeper after another, and it was actually much better back then. It was like springtime. It had just rained. There's like plenty of traction. There's like hero dirt out there. Yeah. It was amazing. And then we could just climb anything we looked at, basically, except for a couple of hills. But it was amazing.
And yeah, it's surreal too, because on the mission that we went up, we're climbing this thing, pausing, giggling, laughing. Kevin and I are going, the superboard, like a bunch of little kids. And then there's like dirt bikers, like, brr, brr, like this is dirt biking territory. And here we are, just a couple of humble one-wheelsmen and women, like ascending these hills. And you said you had a couple of fun interactions with dirt bike riders over there while you guys were testing. Take me back to one of those.
So we were actually like down on a different peak. So we were like we were like a hill away or a valley away from these riders. I don't know, a few 400 feet, something like that. And they didn't know, like the sound just traveled really well over that valley. And so we could hear them crystal clear from where we were, and even though we were so far away. And they're like, look at those guys. Are they about to go down that hill? Like, no way they're going down that hill. Like, just like stunned that we were even out there and like trying to figure out what we were going to do next. And we could hear them the whole time. We're just over there giggling like, oh yeah, let's go. And then we like go down the hill that we were in front of, and then we climb up the one after it, which was even more impressive. And yeah, we got to the top, and those guys were all stoked. It was great.
Oh my God, you can do that on those? Can now.
Classic. Classic. You also mentioned, descending hills, right? That's like one of you said the thing you were most excited about was braking.
Yeah.
Which seems like there's a lot of new and exciting things about this board. Braking is not maybe the first one that comes to mind. It's not like the first thing that's, on the website or whatever, but tell me why that is something that you're so excited about.
I mean, I like to go up and down steep terrain. So, yeah, I mean, with the GTS and with our race boards, with the internals, we've been able to climb. I think the braking has definitely improved in the last month or two. But we've always been able to climb. Well, not always. We've been able to climb up these really steep hills, and then if we don't get all the way to the top, kind of don't want to hop on the board and go back down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, somewhere in the last few iterations, we ended up going down the same steep hills that we could barely make it up, and it's something that I would not even try on a different board.
Yeah.
And yeah, you hit 5-6 miles per hour, and it just holds you there the whole time. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a combination of, the height that you get from the tire now being bigger, so you're a little higher up. And then also, the firmware has been improved and stuff like that. But sometimes you would get on even the GTS and you descend something just a little too steep, and you start dragging your tail, and you have two options. So one is to bail, which is never recommended because that can be scary and
sure.
a little sketchy on its own. Number two is to point it, put your hips over the wheel, and get down that hill. And all you do is gain speed going down a hill like that. So it can be kind of scary getting down something like that.
Right.
And now you just you can pretty much go down as slow as you want. And so that's pretty cool.
There was moments on those really steep hills where I saw you go halfway down, stop on a dime, slow down and stop, and then just lean back up.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable power. The other thing that Kevin, who was with us at the time, said that I thought was really telling was this is the first time, he's holding camera gear, right? And we're going down these steep hills. He said, usually when I'm going down these hills, I'm just trying to make it to the bottom. But now I feel like I have so much power and control that I can actually play, enjoy basically going down hills like that. So I think that was a good way.
No
good way
longer
to think
just
about
surviving going down that. It's thriving.
Totally. Yeah. So basically, in summary, for people who are, just finding out about this, so Rally XL, bigger tire, slightly longer platform to account for the larger tire. The internals are all new control electronics, new batteries. All of that means about 50% more torque, particularly low and mid-end torque, although I believe also some more torque at the high end as well. And a little bit more range too. So about 11 to 12% more range. Overall, yeah, it just feels awesome. Feels like what we've been working a long time to have, and now everyone gets to enjoy. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's like floating on a cloud.
Okay, so obviously there's a thriving DIY one-wheel community, right? And some of these individual elements, have been things that people have done to their own boards at home, right? I asked you also when we were at that first time, I was like, okay, how does this differ? Why would someone want this versus making their own that has similar elements? And obviously, everyone to each their own. If you want to, make your own board, that's great. But for a lot of people, I'm a person, I have no interest in building my own PC. It's just not, I just want it to work. Yeah. We all understand. There's different types of people out there.
I want to be able to grab it out of the box and just put my feet on it.
You all do you. But I guess what would be awesome? what would be like, why would someone want this versus building something similar, I guess?
This is out of the box, ready to go. And, it's similar performance to a lot of DIY builds out there. They have, with the DIY build, you don't have to worry about the longevity of the batteries or the hardware, and safety, and you don't have to worry about producing hundreds of thousands of boards and having, really precise quality assurance. So you can just kind of open up things until they break, turn up the power until you fry stuff, and that allows them to get much closer to the limits of the hardware than we'll ever be.
Sure.
But yeah, we're like, this is a lot of power and a lot of traction, and yeah, it definitely closed the gap quite a bit.
Yeah, totally. I think that's well said. There's two sides to every coin, right? So if you're trying to push limits past where is maybe safe for like a wide consumption, there's like some potential drawbacks there. Moving forward, Race the Rail. Race the Rail is coming up. It's next week. How are we feeling? Are we ready? You're building ramps. Everyone's coming. How overwhelmed? How excited? Where are we on the continuum?
Like, so overwhelmed. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's how you should feel. That's how you should feel. Every Race the Rail, I've always felt incredibly overwhelmed. And then it happens, and it's like an amazing, beautiful thing.
I think I'm super overwhelmed right now, and my eyes are crossing thinking about how many things we still have to do and how little time we have to do it. But I'm really excited for everybody to come out and just have a freaking blast. Like, this is going to feel like one big group ride with all of your friends is what I think the weekend's going to be. That's how I'm going to treat it, because I'm kind of wearing myself out a little bit already. But yeah, it's going to be so much fun. How do you feel?
Yeah, as a racer, I'm not prepared.
So
That's
I'm good.
Already tired.
You're all welcome.
Everything.
You're all welcome. We've tuckered out the Silvas, so we did our best. Now, there's no excuses if you can't beat them.
But as like an organizer, and seeing this all come together, like it's really exciting, and I think it's going to be completely new. There's passing, something that I've personally wanted on a side-by-side race course for as many years as we've been racing, and now we have it. Like, it's going to be all new. Like, it's going to be really interesting. There's going to be like an endurance factor. It's going to be a lot of jumps. It's going to be a lot of passing. There's no like breaks. There's no like, a lot of times in side-by-side racing now, you like know where the passing opportunities are on the course. You take your advantage there, and then you can kind of let off when people can't pass you. And as long as you don't let off like crazy, you can kind of relax, and same person behind you kind of relaxes. But now you can pass the entire course. There's no like breaks. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and it's going to be super competitive, and it's going to be action packed. Like, people are going to be passing left and right. We'll see. We ended up taking the laps down a little bit. I was a little concerned about like endurance.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. We can always add them in next year.
We started.
If it was up to Austin, it'd be 20 laps. 20 laps around this course. It's like 5 minutes per lap.
Moto Nationals, people are racing for 30, 40 minutes each race, but yeah.
We're working our way up there.
We'll work our
what
way
are you
up,
most excited about Mercedes for this year?
Honestly, I'm just excited to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to race and like be on the race course with everybody, but like I'm most excited to watch it and like sit up on Spectator Hill and get to watch everybody go around the track and stuff because you can actually see the whole track. Like that's something that
True.
we've never had before. I mean, I don't know about year
No,
1 or year 2, but
yeah, not really. Not
Yeah.
really like this.
so I'm just excited. And then I'm also really excited to just like be out there, camp with everybody. They're just, yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what music we have this year, but I know in the past whenever
Probably Bodie.
we've booked we had one good band that came for like 3 or 4 years or something like
Oh,
that.
you like
Sega
them?
Genocide. Oh
Sega
my god, I
Genocide,
love
yeah.
those guys so
They
much.
were really rad.
Yeah. Can we have them back?
We haven't contacted Sega Genocide, but maybe
maybe
might not be
next
too
year.
late.
But no, those guys were amazing. So I'm looking forward to like camping and then like, the relaxing after
Yeah.
the race. Everybody kind of chills out and we all
Yeah.
get to hang out. So
Totally. Yeah, I mean it's way more participant oriented and focused this year, which is really exciting. I just met Dave from Canada. Dave, I believe his name was.
Mhm.
And he drove 52 miles to be here. He's a Clydesdale.
hours.
What's that?
he
52
wishes
hours.
it was
52 hours.
52
Not 52 miles. Thank you. And just his excitement and how stoked he was that like we let Clydesdales in this year. I've always been the holdout. I've always been the one that's like, nope, this is the best in the world competing for the trophy. There's not Clydesdales in the NFL. There's one Super Bowl trophy. There's no second place ribbon. Best 2 teams show up. Like that's been me. Okay.
Well, but that's not totally true because you were there in 2019 and
That's true.
that was my
That's true.
that was my first experience with
Okay.
Race for the Rail, and I remember all those guys being
Very
on.
true.
It was a mass start, so it'll be kind of similar this year.
Everyone
but-
compete. There wasn't classes
We're not
back
going to hit
then.
him with drywall this year, though.
Yeah. Actually, was there classes? I don't recall if there was classes or not.
No, there was. Yeah, I remember it was Clydesdales. We had Groms, and
Yeah.
all the women went together that year.
Yeah,
that's
that's
why
true.
I remember that. And
That's true.
I got squeezed out of the side there. But
Yeah.
that one was like participant. We've been thinking
Focus.
about that literally like ever since. Like,
Yeah.
Oh man,
It was really fun. It was really
Race
fun.
for the Rail. Opened it back up.
Totally. Yeah, I definitely got more focused on like the elite rider and like creating a elite experience. And it's really difficult to do both, like particularly when you're trying to produce like the broadcast in a certain way
Yeah.
and showcase the event at a certain level with you can't really scale it. Like this year we will be broadcasting it live as well. If it's not going to be as dialed and as focused as that broadcast had been in the past because it was really optimized around short lap times and like we had the player cards, we had all this stuff, whatever. Dave's excitement about just being able to participate and being here got me really fired up for everyone to compete. And I don't know if this is rumor or true, but I think it might be true that the winning Clydesdales and Legends and Experts
And experts.
get to compete in the men's finals as well.
Yep.
And they get to be on XLs. No, I'm kidding. Gotcha. That would be spicy.
It did take the men's finals up from 12 to 15 now.
Yeah.
Maybe going 15
I think that's
wide
a
for the
sick idea.
finals.
I didn't know that got thumbs up. Like I know, like Neil texted to me. I was like, I think that's awesome. Then I saw it on Instagram. I don't know who was like, and I was like, oh, great, that's cool. Let's do it. So that's exciting. That's gonna be fun. People, everyone's excited about that because it means that even a Clydesdale could win Race to the Rail. Unlikely, but maybe it'll happen. Very intriguing.
Potentially.
I wonder what the betting markets say right now.
It also prepares like the top of those 3 classes to move up to pro. Like that's the natural progression for those 3 classes.
Right.
After they do so well, they should move up to pro, and
Right.
and that kind of primes them for that too.
Yeah, that's cool. Grom, 10 to 13 this year, which is super exciting. There's so much to be excited about, honestly, about this event. Freestyle competition afterwards, going back to when we used to have freestyle as well, so that'll be fun. A couple things I want to call out as well. Thursday is open practice on the course. We will be making a couple Rally XLs available for people who want to ride them on the course. will be a really cool opportunity. It will be a legal race board in 2026. Right, the 2025 season ends at Race the Rail, and 2026 begins immediately after. So, just a heads up, like you're going to get smoked if you aren't on that. To be honest with you, so you'll be able to ride that, test the new race board for next season, and I think what we're going to do also at the end of the day on Thursday is we'll run Tyler on the course with no footholds, and get his lap time. I don't know about the jumps. Like we'll have to see what the deal is. But we'll get Tyler's lap time. Then anyone that wants to, well, it might be limited to a certain number of people, but people can then ride an XL with no footholds. And if they beat Tyler's time on Thursday, we will be decking them out with a sick prize pack. So that's new. That's a new thing.
I'm going to go beat Tyler.
For anyone that beats it, or just like the top time?
Anyone that beats Tyler's time is going to get a prize pack.
Sweet.
Limited to availability.
So heads up, if you're coming there Thursday, you can ride this. We'll be organizing some demos Friday and Saturday as well. It's going to be really tricky because we have so many races on the course. There's not a lot of time. There's really no time, actually, on the course Friday and Saturday. So if you want to ride the XL on the course, Thursday's really your chance.
Is that going to be like all day Thursday? Do we have set times yet? Or
we'll probably have to have some set times because we'll have to charge. We don't have too many boards, and we'll have to charge the boards. But I just wanted to call that out. Yeah. And of course, Rally XL is not legal for this year's race, much to the chagrin of these two over here.
it's for the best. It's for the best.
Yeah, I think, look, we really, obviously it would have been epic to have it as a board for this year's race, but just with the timeline, felt like it was unfair to people that, had raced all season on their board. They probably already shipped it here, right? And then you're going to have a situation where, look, some people are able to get one in time, others aren't, and it's just like at the end of the day, it's such a significant advantage. It just wouldn't have created a level playing field. So people would have been felt forced into buying one on this crazy timeline too. It's just like bad vibe.
We want them to try it on their own and figure out how freaking amazing it is on your own time.
And I'm really excited about that. Like this will be a great weekend for people to be able to just like in a low stakes chill. Well, it's not necessarily a low-stakes chill environment, but for some people it might be, but they'll be able to come, ride it, demo it, ride it on the course, talk to people that are knowledgeable about it. So it'll be really fun to get all those first reactions, see if they can beat Tyler.
It'll actually really shine on the course too, with the hills and the jumps and everything. Like you'll be able to really see the difference.
These guys are so bummed. It's mostly maybe my fault, but you know what? I love how bummed you are because it shows how your sadness to not be able to ride that shows how good that board is. So I take that as a positive net. Plus, again, the Silvas have been riding this for the last months, so this is your time to beat them. We've done everything in our power. Cool. So I guess if you don't have a ticket to race, you need to get one before next Thursday. It's very important. We'll probably link the website down below. You cannot show up the day of or Friday and want to race. That's because we have so many people that we need to organize the heats and the brackets and the times. You cannot show up. You can show up the day of and watch, get an access pass and watch. You can show up the day of and probably camp, get a camping pass. You could probably show up the day of and compete in the freestyle competition. Maybe. I'd have to check on that. You cannot race if you show up the day of and you want to. So
we cannot overwhelm Port Chelsea.
Yes, we cannot. So make sure you do that if you want to race. Everyone is welcome, and it's going to be really fun and exciting. Any closing thoughts? Anything else that is worth discussing?
I don't know. I'm so tired.
Ready for a nap.
Already.
Ready for a nap. Well, you better rest up because next week's going to be
next week's
pretty
go
epic.
time.
Yeah.
No time to rest.
whole track to prep.
No time to
It's
rest.
gonna be fun though. Honestly, like that's one of the things that I think I enjoy most about a lot of the races and stuff, like being able to go out and make the track to where people come back and they're like, "Oh my God, that's so good out there!" Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, you'll
excited.
have that opportunity come early next week.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Let us know if you have any questions. We'll get to them as best we can, and we hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And hopefully, we'll see you and hang out next week.
See you at Race for the Rail.
Yeah.
Peace.
Later.